Howdy. Sorry, go back to the channel. So if you check out my past videos, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe and like and comment if you enjoy the state. Body today. Yes, sir. Today, we got a video from Everything Always. Avengers Secret Wars new announcement. I think this is like low-key the first time we ever got like a Avengers Secret Wars announcement that was specific to that.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka All Fires Now. About a month ago, Marvel Studios, the Russos, they declared a wrap on Avengers Doomsday principal photography, had a wrap party, gave the cast and crew wrap gifts, and then just continued to film principal photography on Avengers Doomsday for the next coming couple of months. In fact, we know they're filming it right now. Letitia Wright just in an interview said she was in the middle of filming on Avengers Doomsday, again, even though they wrapped a month ago. Well, original were in the middle of filming of months. In fact, we know they're filming it right now. Letitia Wright just in an interview said she...
Letitia Wright, bro, if y'all don't know who that is, that's, I believe, you know what I'm saying? I take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, bro, because I only know them by their, like, character names, bro. That's just what it is, bro. But I believe that's, I believe she's the girl who plays Shuri, Chadwick, you know, T'Challa's sister, you know?
Was in the middle of filming on Avengers Doomsday, again, even though they wrapped a month ago. Well, original reports had the next round of principal photography, or what they were calling reshoots, scheduled for spring of next year. But now we have a brand new official production update for Avengers Secret Wars that actually starts much earlier than we thought and really moves the timetable around quite a bit for what's going on with the reshoots for Avengers Doomsday. And although they said...
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm thinking since the movie is called Avengers Secret Wars, I'm thinking this is gonna be a movie full of like events from like when Captain America first became Captain America all the way up until where we at now. It's going like they're gonna show us certain things we didn't see on the screen that was happening off screen. Secret Wars is just gonna be a movie of people, a bunch of people with all their perspectives leading up to the final fight. That's what it's going to be.
They wouldn't be shooting these movies back to back. They might actually be going one step further than that, overlapping or going concurrently. We're breaking it all down. This latest production update for Avengers Secret Wars. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately and help us grow the channel. We're growing again at an insane rate. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so. Being a subscriber is the #1 way to support us. Plus, if you hit the sub button and leave a comment, that will automatically enter you for our ongoing giveaways. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this latest update for Avengers Secret Wars filming timeline actually came from the editorial Hollywood North Buzz from their Production List UK, talking about the upcoming projects that are filming in London. Now, they have Avengers Doomsday still listed there with no conclusion to their filming dates. Like I said, it's pretty well known across the industry. They're still filming on that. But it's the newest update to Avengers Secret Wars timeline that really puts everything in perspective. They offered that the working title for this film is Apple Pie 2, well, because Avengers Doomsday was Apple Pie 1. The filming dates are officially April 2026 through September of...
Bro, what's up with these names they be having for these projects and stuff, bro? It be, bro, y'all ever see like these worldwide projects that be like secret, top secret? They give it the most weirdest names, bro. Why are they calling this Apple Pie 1 and Apple Pie 2, bro?
The filming dates are officially April 2026 through September of 2026. Directors Joe and Anthony Russo, and the cast lists Robert Downey Jr., the Four from the Fantastic Four, and Tom Holland. Now, they may have just put those names in there because they also list Tom Holland under the official casting for Avengers Doomsday, and we all know not only was he not included in that cast announcement, he might not even be in the film. But
see, I think whoever don't have a chair is most likely gonna make a cameo with like their voice, or it's gonna be something that symbolizes them in the film. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think that means. I think whoever got a chair, you're gonna see their face. Whoever don't have a chair, they might just get certain little cameos to let you know that they still a part of the story and they're still pulling strings, I guess, from behind the scenes in some way, somehow. You know what I mean? They still playing a role. And I believe Spider-Man is going to be in Doomsday, bro. We might not see Tom Holland's face. Being real, we might not see Tom Holland's face. Or we might not even see Tom Holland at all, bro. If he's not in this movie at all, bro, it will kind of make it hard for them to kind of connect him and Dr. Doom together, you know? Unless they got another way in doing that. You know,
starting on Avengers Secret Wars in April 2026. Well, let me put it this way. When Collider did an interview with the Russos pretty much right after that announcement that they were coming back to direct both films and Robert Downey Jr. was Dr. Doom, they were asked point blank if they would be filming these movies concurrently at the same time like they shot Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And they said no. They said they would be two different shoots significantly and that there would be more time in between the films. Well, now if this timeline is correct, it doesn't sound like there's going to be much time in between the films. We know, matter-of-factly, principal photography has continued throughout this year, and...
But nobody who knows, bro, principal photography means reshoot. You know what I mean? That means you're reshooting scenes and stuff. That's what principal photography means. I believe so. Look it up.
If the original reports were true, we're going to start up after the first of next year and continue on from there. Knowing that Avengers Doomsday is going to require a lot in the way of reshoots, not because what they have or haven't done in principal photography, just because they... Okay, now I'm confused. Because you remember in the beginning, bro was saying principal photography and reshoots pretty much. Now he's using both words in the same sentence, and it's throwing me off. We looking it up, bro. Principal photography is the stage of filmmaking where most of the movie scenes are filmed, with the director, actors, and crew working on set. This phase occurs after pre-production and before post-production, and it's the most expensive and time-consuming part of making a film. It focuses on capturing all the primary footage while supplementing. Oh, so basically, principal photography is when all the characters that's supposed to be involved in the film and stuff like that, like all of them are all on set at the same time. Directors, the writers, everybody's at work that day. That's pretty much what it means. That's what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if I'm wrong, but that's pretty much what I'm getting. Principal photography is when everybody's at work. Everybody's clocked in. Okay. Way of reshoots, not because what they have or haven't done in principal photography, just because they were continuing to write the movie. You have to imagine everything is subject to change that isn't hard locked as they're finishing the story now for Avengers Secret Wars, meaning to me, if you take this at face value, the Russos will be basically shooting these movies one right into another. So forget there being any time in between. What's more than that, with post-production, the way that it goes, not only just finishing up CGI, but editing the movie as well, it's pretty clear to me that they might be on some double duty here for a good part of next year, shooting the principal photography on Avengers Secret Wars, April through September, but also doing post-production in the studio, working on coloring and the final cuts and the editing. They're going to have a lot going on as far as these films. Now, I would say that's worrisome.
Hey, now it makes sense why the way they film, they film. It makes sense why they film in increments now. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand where the money actually goes when it comes to this, you know, like where they spend the most money. It don't be on the set and stuff. It be when everybody is at work that day. Principal photography. When everybody is at, now I see why they film scenes later and stuff like that, because they're not trying to have everybody there at once, because that's just too much of a payday that they gotta give. You know what I'm saying? Understandable. You know what I'm saying? I would do the same exact thing. So now y'all know the reason why we get movies a little slower is because not everybody is at work at the same time, bro. Not everybody is at work at the same time. So now y'all understand, and y'all could be a little bit lenient and a little bit more patient. You know what I'm saying? And know, like, okay, they not they're not doing principal photography right now. That's why it's not moving so fast. You know what I'm saying? Understandable. They're gonna waste too much money doing that, and they won't have enough money, you know, editing and doing all the CGI and stuff. They ain't gonna have enough money if they do all that.
Going forward, I never Avengers even knew that was Wars in April of 2026, we haven't even finished Avengers Doomsday yet, really puts them in a time crunch. But as I've said in previous videos, if it were anyone else, we could worry. The Russos did this. They shot Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. They managed both of those movies at the same time. And arguably, they've given themselves even more time to complete these two films. If principal photography truly wraps in September of 2026, it's not coming out till December of 2027, a full 15 months away. Plenty of time for them to work on reshoots, more principal photography, plenty of time not to rush the CGI, and get the movie right.
Why would they do principal photography, though? Because when you think about it, it's kind of like, not everybody needs to be there, especially if they're not a part of that scene or they don't have no lines for that scene. So they kind of don't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? Unless, everybody is really in that scene. What would be the other reason? You know what I mean?
And so look, is the pressure on the Russos and Marvel Studios, everybody, to deliver these two films going to be insane? Yeah, but it was arguably the same or even worse with Infinity War and Avengers Endgame because they hadn't done it yet. That was their first time going through the ringer. And incidentally, during that very same Collider interview that we just referenced, one of the Russos actually used a quote close to, "We've really codified our system with Marvel Studios and how we make these movies," meaning they've arranged it into a system, into a routine. They know how to get it done. And I think that's probably more than anything what's going to be serving them over the next 2 years. They gave themselves extra time. That was a huge one, but they also have the experience. Again,
hey, bro, you know what I want to see?
That this is really too much to bite off for anyone to chew in the movie industry, that there are seasoned pros who probably couldn't handle movies of this size and scope. And who knows, maybe Marvel Studios and the Russos don't end up pulling it off, and it is a major letdown. It's just, I think you got to ask yourself, at what point are we willing to give someone the benefit of the doubt? And if we're not willing to give it to Kevin Feige, the Russos, and Robert Downey Jr. to get this thing across the finish line the way that we all want, the way they know we're expecting,
the Russo brothers we trust, bro.
Who would you trust? Who would you give the benefit of the doubt to? They've earned it. So I know maybe things haven't been going as well for Marvel Studios during the multiverse saga, and maybe Agbo has had a couple more misses than they've actually had hits, and that's maybe putting it nicely. But at the end of the day, you could arrange any other group of humans to try to make these movies, and they wouldn't have the track record that the Russos have. So I'm not as worried as this makes it seem, and I think they probably knew, as much as they were trying with initial scheduling for these films, no matter how much time they left themselves, that they would be working on both movies 24 hours a day, pretty much up until Avengers Secret Wars is in theaters, and they can finally exhale. Now, this doesn't change the fact that when we get into the reshoot thick of it in the beginning of next year, and they're doing Avengers Secret Wars, and there's even one report about somebody being stretched too thin, that people are going to run out the headlines that Avengers Secret Wars is in trouble, Marvel Studios is in trouble. They love that stuff. They've been doing it the whole time. They've been doing it even when there isn't anything to complain about, as we saw earlier with production reports of Robert Downey Jr. or somebody else getting in a fight with someone, or maybe Robert Downey Jr. making them shoot 2 weeks of principal photography worth because him standing off stage saying the lines while someone else was in the suit wasn't working for him, or at least that's what the report was. Whether or not you want to believe that stuff, it's fine, but I just think, again, it's the benefit of the doubt thing, and in this case, I'm going to give it to him. You guys let me know all your thoughts, though, down below. How hype are you for these films? Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, still giving away PS...
I think Avengers Secret Wars is going to be the biggest project the MCU has, bro. And it's obvious. It's called Secret Wars. Everybody's supposed to be popping up. You know what I'm saying? But I do like the fact that, they letting out details, letting people know, like, bro, we doing reshoots and everything like that. Keeping people updated, But I do want to see a lot of these stories that I've been seeing from these little comics and stuff. Because I see them every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? And there's some dope stories that I think would be dope to see in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, because these comics are about Doomsday and Secret Wars. That's the crazy part. It's a lot of stories, man. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything and what y'all most excited for in Avengers Secret Wars, bro.